A lot of people think, especially with Omicron, that people just aren't going back to the office the way that we might have thought even 6-9 months ago.
Yeah, and what's been interesting to follow with this survey, which we've run every 3 months since the height of the pandemic, is that not only is a large portion of the population still working the majority of their work week from home, it's up to 42% now, but also, that 88% stat of people that prefer to work from home, that hasn't changed that much either. It's actually continued to go up. So, we may have thought that people were kind of tired of working from home. That does not appear to be the case, according to our survey. So, a lot of these stay from home or work from home beneficiaries in the home improvement, home furnishing space, we think are going to continue to work well here.
I really would have thought a company like Home Depot, a stock like that, would have to take a breather. Tell me how much more upside you think Home Depot, Lowe's, Floor & Decor, that those stocks could have.
Sure. I mean, the valuations actually do not look unattractive here. I mean, when you think about Lowe's trading at about 19 times next year's earnings, I mean, that's basically a market multiple. These are not stocks that are trading like they've been, running at a huge growth rate and that's going to go into perpetuity. These are not bubble stocks. I think that they still look very attractive from here, especially when you consider the market share gains for a Home Depot or a Lowe's in this environment where supply shortage is such a big issue. These are the retailers that are getting prioritized by suppliers for product. And so that's a huge advantage right now.
Liz, I don't know if you can see behind me here at CNBC Global Headquarters, but it's a rare day here because we have actual people back in the building at CNBC to lift the curtain a little bit. It is visiting day here at CNBC for a lot of the workers who were working from home, coming back into the office in January. Today's the day to come back in, get your bearings. Some of the people here have never been in this building before because they've been hired during the pandemic. I saw one guy at the cafeteria who didn't even know how the checkout system worked here because he'd never worked here before.
I still can't figure it out.
It is confusing, to be fair to him. The big draw, though, is that they're handing out office supplies in the lobby here. That's the big thing to get the back from home people to come back to the office.
Are you suggesting and actually, that's not a good, compelling way?
You need sticky notes. You've got to have sticky notes. But if 80% of the people still want to work from home, sticky notes is not going to bring them back to the office. What's going to bring them back to the office?
Well, I think the option of a flexible work environment is something that's very appealing. Being able to come in at least, a few days a week and collaborate with your coworkers, and then also have the flexibility to be at home when you have to do, some of those things like, managing childcare, right, or other at-home needs. And so then for the retail side, it's really catering to that, having an office in an actual, work building and also having a home office as well. So the home office trade is still very attractive here.
But bosses don't like the idea of work from home, right? I mean, all the bosses who are bosses now came of age in an era where everybody was in an office and the boss could see all of his minions in front of him or her minions in front of her. And they got used to managing that way. This has made them very uncomfortable for 2 years. And when you see all these quotes from CEOs saying, you got to get back in, you got to get back in, there's going to be this tension, I think, between the workforce and the people who are operating the workforce, for lack of a better word.
Yeah, I mean, it's going to be interesting to see how this evolves. But I mean, right now, the evidence from our surveys is pretty clear that this is the way that, the workforce wants to go. And right now, I think they actually have a fair amount of power in that dynamic.
Well, we only have like a tiny bit of wall space in the kitchen, which I'm repainting this week. And I went to Home Depot last night to pick out cabinet knobs, Liz. So it's like, I'm living everything that you're describing. I guess I'm here, though. Liz Suzuki, thank you. We appreciate it for your time today.